Hello, and welcome to Color Commentary. I'm TJ, your average fan, and I'll be talking to you today about a show that I just recently came across. It's currently on Peacock Universal streaming service. I believe it might be a sci-fi channel show. I'm not sure. It's called Resident Alien. And we're going to be talking about the entirety of season 1 in this video. First off, let me say, this show is really interesting. It caught me off guard. I just happened to put something on, and before I knew it, I had binged the entire thing. Who knew? It's got twists and turns. It's got Alan Tudyk, who's been in so many things. Doom Patrol, Star Trek Discovery. I mean, he's been excellent in all of them, and he's very good in this. So let's just get right into it, shall we? Spoilers! Okay. So we got this show about an alien coming to Earth, but it's not the typical story. See, how do I go about this? Okay. So we're going to do this with character arcs, because there's an overarching story of the season, and then because he's in this small town, there's a bunch of interpersonal relationships that come into play and affect this alien. So we got this alien crash landing. We're going to go 4 months in the past, and he crash lands. He goes to this cabin where there's this guy staying there who looks like Alan Tudyk. And yeah, they get into a scuffle. He ends up killing the guy, throwing him in a frozen lake. So yeah, he's dead. And he takes the form of his body as people can change shape. So now he looks like the Dr. Alan Tudyk. Here we go. We got our alien. Meanwhile, in the town of Patience, the cabin that this doctor was staying is right outside of the town of Patience. In the town of Patience, there's been a murder, and and the murder, the person killed was the doctor, the town doctor. So, you know, I guess the Alan Tudyk character alien died, and he took over. They knew he was a doctor, and he would come to town every so often, every few months, stay for like a week and go. So they were aware of him, so they need a doctor for this situation because the doctor is dead. So they go out here, and sheriff and his deputy. I forget the guy's name who's playing the sheriff, but he is hilarious. I've seen him play cops before, normally serious, but this time he's doing the exact opposite. I mean, he was one of the cops that was on. Now I can't even think of the name of that show. Kevin Bacon's wife was the star of that show, but she was a detective. Yeah, anyway, he was serious there. This one, he's hilarious and a hoot and out of his mind. I think his name is, I don't know what his name is in the show. Actually, they said it a few times, but he wants people to call him Big Black, which the mayor finds inappropriate, especially him being a young white guy. Yes, I'm not going to call you that, sir. Just sheriff, all right? So anyway, they come get the doctor to do this autopsy and find out what's going on with him. He don't want to have nothing to do with these humans. He's like, screw them. I'm here on a mission. What is his mission? Oh, to set off some device that will eliminate all human life. Spare everything else. Just humans. Eradicate them. That's his mission. And let me tell you, this is one determined alien who's determined to accomplish his mission. So he finds this as an opportunity to blend in with the humans. So you go ahead and go. You go, check out the body. He's a weirdo the entire time, the entire series. He's a freaking weirdo because he don't know how to act. He doesn't know how to socialize. His speech pattern is all screwed, and he's way too forward and blunt in his thought processing. So he'll tell you exactly what he thinks and be real literal with you, and you'll be pissed. You'll be like, why is this dude such a dick? But anyway. Mystery ensues. Who killed the doctor? Well, comes to find out by the end of the season that it was the dude he took over that killed the doctor. They thought it was the doctor's wife. They had set her up with all the stuff. It was insulin and botulinum toxin. And she worked at a salon where she do Botox. And so she could have did it. So she had went to jail and was out on bond. And the town was hating her. And all this other crap. But I come to find out that it was actually the dude whose body he took over that killed him. By the end of season 1, we don't know why that is. We just know that it was that guy who did it. And he has to figure out a way to hide that the sheriff and his deputies own it. Meanwhile, the sheriff is going through his own problems because he's a cop from DC. He came to this small town to start over because he lost his partner. It turned out his partner got killed because of a direction that he gave him, so he feel like it's his fault, even though the dude was going to do what he was going to do anyway. By the flashback, he was going upstairs, she was going around. That's how they go. Sometimes officers get hurt in the line of duty, doing their job. So now he running around with all this guilt. Oh, woe is me. I can't get attached to nobody. Trying to take care of his father who's sick and on oxygen and giving him a hard time. Meanwhile, one of the nurses that work at the hospital with the doctor that died, her name is Asta. She is now attached to the alien dude. His name is Henry. Henry Loggins-Legal, or whatever his last name is Duff. First name Henry. So we call him the alien now has a name. Henry. Henry is his name. So she don't get along with him. But they gotta do this autopsy. They start, talking to each other, and she started trying to be a bit more understanding. And before you know it, they're friends. So now the alien has a friend, and he don't want to lose his friend. So he's doing a whole lot of stuff to keep from losing his friend. So by the time all of that's said and done, they're like, well, we need to figure out what's going on. Like I said, the sheriff is on it. The deputy who's being underused is feeling some type of way. So she didn't quit. The sheriff had to bring her back, after he apologized and took his ass off the show and realized that she was doing all the really hard work and actually solving stuff. Meanwhile, because of the shape-shifting abilities of the alien, people can't see what he really looks like. Like a 1 in a million chance that your brain chemistry is, or you've evolved enough to see through their little mind control trick. Guess what? Small town of Patience, there's one little boy who sees him and has a fit. So now he don't want to go to the doctor because the doctor is the alien. And now they got a war. So the whole first season, he's fighting a war with this little boy about him being able to see him. He done tried to kill him like 3 times, cut the brake lines on his little bicycle and threatened him with stitches and squeezing his arm, and the little boy holding his pain, snuck in his room in the middle of the night, terrified him. Parents don't believe him when he said there's an alien under his bed. They're like, oh, cool plan, go back to bed. It was hilarious. I'm like, this is insane. He is terrorizing this child. That's what he's doing. So, through all of that, by the end of the first season, him and the little boy come to a mild, but very mild truce. After he done been to their house for dinner and been forced to deal with him, and they done argued. He done spit the little boy's face and everything. I mean, he really hates this little boy. Because he is a threat, because he can see him. But nobody believes him. He done screamed it from the top of his lungs that the doctor is alien. The doctor is alien. He done had the deputy draw a picture of him. Exactly looks just like him. We also come to find out through the alien's eyes that there are other aliens around. The reptile aliens, the greys, some other kind of aliens. There's aliens all over in the universe, let alone on planet Earth. Some of them hide and some of them not so much. But it's really about his story. And because he decided that he wanted to try to save Asta, his new friend, yeah, he don't want to do that. So the little boy's father is the mayor of Patience. The mother is a big city gal, but she's in town, and she is trying to fit into the small town where everybody knows everybody and dated each other, because now Asta's best friend had also dated the mayor back when they was in high school, so she's not a big fan of her. And then you got Asta dealing with the fact that she gave up her child at 16, and now she found the girl. She worked at the hospital, and she done a bunch of things. Told the girl that she her mother did. She found out that she her mother did. It's a whole thing with that. It's a whole lot of, like I said, interpersonal relationships going on. Asta's friend is dealing with the fact that she used to be an Olympic skier, and now after an injury, she can't do it anymore. So she feels like a loser in town. And she's a terrible bartender where she works, and she also works on the glacier where they make sure it's safe and keep people off the mountain. You know, so she got like a million jobs. It's crazy. Everybody going through something in this town, I gotta tell you. So, by the end of the first season, Elliot decides I don't want to kill Asta. So he's going to take Asta with him. There's also this government agency after him. And they've tracked stuff back to this town and patients, and they're trying to narrow it down to get to this doctor. The two agents that the general sent in secretly to uncover this and to find this alien were unsuccessful in finding the alien, but they did find his ship. So now the government has his ship. The general is determined to get to the bottom of this and figure out she wants this alien, and she wants it bad. At the end of the first season, you don't really know why, but we'll get to that another day. Whew. So now they got his ship. He wanted it back, of course, and so he can leave, right? Yeah, not so much. So once he finds out where it is, and the agents threaten the little boy because they didn't find out that he knows about the alien, they attack. His mama and daddy whoop they behinds, and now they in mad love with each other from this ass whooping that they gave together. They rekindled their fire, and so the boy tells them it was the doctor, because one of his pictures had a lab coat on. So they're like, why does this alien have a lab coat on? He's the doctor. So they got a new town doctor, a permanent town doctor, who's now been kidnapped by the government, and he's just a regular alien. I mean, he's just a regular human. God. Yeah. Real smart government, real smart. This show is hilarious, but it has some super dramatic, serious moments, especially considering that he is trying to destroy the freaking planet. Okay? So, he's been searching the glacier where he crashed to find his device. He finds it. He repairs it. Thanks to going to some alien convention where he rips the implant out of that the gray aliens have put in people and uses their technology to fix his device so that he can eradicate the planet. The guy he took the device out of, oh, he'll be back. We'll get to him later as well. So he fixes the device. He's ready to press the button and eradicate all the humans, but he is attached to pizza. He's attached to Asta. So he decides he's going to take Asta with him. First, he needs to get his ship back so he can get off the planet because he's been human for too long, and the energy is starting to affect him. So, I need to get off the planet before I hit the planet. So that's what he on a mission to find the ship. He finds the ship, going to hold little boy, and has to find it too. So now they're all there. They threaten to kill them if he leaves. He said, fine, he knocking out soldiers everywhere, and then he decided to go ahead and save them. Tell Asta, come with me, the planet's gonna be destroyed. She's like, no, I got family here, are you crazy? Don't destroy the planet. So, because he's like, Asta, he decides not to do it. And it ends with, but his people still sending somebody else to come do it, because he also, along the way, met one of his cousins, aka octopus. Yes, these octopus on our planet are cousins to these aliens. So they mind talking. And his cousin tell him like, yeah, they're gonna send somebody else. Since you didn't finish your mission, they're sending somebody else to do it. So that's the catalyst for season 2. Him trying to stop his people. Communicate with his people to stop them from coming and destroying the planet. This show is hilarious. It is so funny. I am enjoying it. It is a good watch to just sit out, put it on, let it play, and you will, before you know it, you have been and watched the entire thing. It's funny, funny show. Yet very, very serious. Not kidding. Just, I mean, hard-hitting, dramatic moments. They just come out of nowhere, and you go, oh, you know, just like Ashley is a doctor herself. She don't know nothing about her mother or father, and now she's dealing with the drama of her child and finding out, and her child finding out. You know, all of that. The mayor, insecurity, being a mayor, being so young, and all of that kind of stuff. The sheriff, you know, the deputy who's not being appreciated. You know, the fact that this woman whose husband was a doctor in town is now on trial for murder. I mean, the son running around talking about aliens and nobody believing him and they thinking he crazy. You know, it's a lot going on in this little town. You know, you got the town horse between that's his friend and her friend. They slept with everybody in town. They got problems. Everybody. It's a funny show. It's a good show. I recommend it. I will see you guys when I come back with season 2. Until then, I want you all to have a great